We are in between breaks here, renovation breaks, and this is just a small smattering of the folks that are here assembled for the workout show, otherwise known as the Breeze Show, at Fasig-Tipton at Gulfstream Park. So this has been our perch, watching all the horses on the racetrack, working out an eighth of a mile, and a few instances a quarter of a mile. And it's a who's who. There's Mark Cassie, all the way down at the end of the way here. It's Todd Fletcher, taking notes on all these horses. Hey Kamo, how are you? People that want to see some of the guys that are doing our data analysis. That's right back here. It's up in the 10 Palms area. There's Jay Kilgore and his crew.
What about, have you had any more?
Having something to eat, actually, in between sets here. But that's where we get all of our data, our stride analysis and hard scans, etc. from those guys. As I mentioned, we're in the middle of a renovation break. Water trucks on the track, and most of the folks that are assembled here are just waiting for the final set of horses. Final set of horses to hit the track. Then over on the far side, you see where those big white barns are? That's where all of the sales horses are located. They're all coming from there, going over to the chute over here, kind of just light canter up to the top of the lane, and then finishing up right in front of us here at the wire. It's been a good day, probably, let's say maybe 100 or 120. Yes, I'm at Gulfstream Park. 120 will actually breeze here today. 4 sets. We started almost on the button at 10 o'clock, and we'll probably be finishing up, I'm guessing, around 2:30 or 3 o'clock. So, pretty full day. And thankfully, put a lot into the breezes, especially the analysis that we get, the stride analysis and slow motion analysis. The breezes are important. How these? That's the whole point of the 2-year-old in training sales, Kevin. But good question, very good question. So we'll start with the stride analysis in our hands tomorrow, and proceed over to the barns and start pulling horses out and seeing, what we think of each one of these individuals. My guess is we'll probably look at 50 or more horses tomorrow that will have passed the original or the initial swath of 154 that are cattle.